the future of Pokemon games. This video is going to be pretty short. I just wanted to give my opinions on what I believe is the current path for Game Freak and Nintendo for the future of Pokemon games. Hey, what's going on guys, it's KevDog here, and today I'll be giving my thoughts about the mainstream Pokemon games. What is the future? This is something I've definitely thought about before, as games change so much as time and technology advances. Looking back at previous generations, they were all pretty similar. The camera is above your head as you walk around, and you have sprites. Sprites are the pixelized characters, which are now 3D models in the newer games. Another tech change would be how trading works. From link cable nonsense all the way to seamless online compatibility. This is one of the best age features in Pokemon. Now, these aren't actual direct changes that Game Freak and Nintendo thought about themselves. This is just how technology advances. Obviously, if we could trade online, they aren't going to make you buy another link cable and plug it into someone else's DS. There's just no point and reason for that. Looking at actual changes in gameplay, we have many options. The rival characters went from being total jerks to your best friend. This is something that a lot of people don't like because it takes away from the real motivation to take your rival down. It was so satisfying back in the old games when it was actually difficult to win against your rival. In Sword and Shield, they purposely program it so you have to win. The only way to lose the first battle is to intentionally do so. This is definitely an appeal to little kids, but I'm not sure why they would make it this easy. Most of us wouldn't have liked Pokemon as much to begin with as kids if it was this easy. After the first move in the battle, you level up and get your signature attack move. Like, what is the point of that? If you pick a Scorbunny, defeat that level 3 Wooloo and you instantly learn Ember, you get Ember at like level 10 in like the old Kanto games. Like, what's the point? It must be very different for those kids that have Sword and Shield as their first Pokemon games. One thing that I really think will be in all future Pokemon games is raid battles. While some people think it was just a new addition to Galar, like the Pokéradar, stuff like that from Diamond and Pearl, and that it will only be in these games, I think it brought so much life to these games. Looking back, I would never have so much playtime on a Pokemon game with this one. In the old ones, there wasn't much to do after beating Elite Four. In Sword and Shield, I've spent so many hours in the wild area after beating the game. It's just never ending. They're also adding raids to the DLC for Sword and Shield as expected. I have a strong feeling these will be tweaked a bit from the different current dens, just due to how exploitable the current dens are. One reason I think they will return in the future Pokemon games is because of how successful they were. Even though they're so broken and easy to manipulate, Game Freak and Nintendo don't really care about stuff like that when it's getting people Pokemon and keeping them on the game longer. There's no way that people would have had this much fun with the games if you host one raid and that's it. Hosts can have a lot of fun hosting shiny Pokemon for people over and over and over, and just turning one Pokemon like a Zigzagoon to like a billion Zigzagoons. You could host one raid and have 3 people join, but that's not the end. You could host it as many times as you want just from closing the raid. That spreads the shiny factor to all players across the game, and that's just such a great thing for Pokemon. I think at one point, there truly will be an end to Pokemon games, because we're coming up on 1,000 Pokemon in total. That's just way too many to memorize, and to code new sprites and animations in each game for 1,000 Pokemon, that's going to be a huge budget for Game Freak, and for the players to try to memorize all those. How can you be a competitive battler with 1,000 options and trying to pick the best between 6 Pokemon? There's just no way. I have a feeling this whole national dex thing with Pokemon being missing will be an oncurring thing for the future games. There's no way they could cram all these Pokemon and additional new ones in every single time. Especially for those people that are looking to complete the national dex. That's going to be nearly impossible now if you're not cheating. To legitimately get that many Pokemon, and so many of those being transferred up from services like Pokemon Home, Pokemon Bank, that is going to take literal years to do. Thinking about other games like Animal Crossing, for example, while there are so many items and things to do, the way they make it is to not overwhelm you like Pokemon does. There are so many Pokemon, but the way they did in Sword and Shield, without including all of them, kept it a bit more reasonable. I honestly didn't mind that much that a lot of Pokemon were missing unlike others. Sure, a lot of fan favorites like Alakazam, a lot of the Mega Forms, features like that, and Pokemon just weren't in the game. That didn't really make too big of a difference. It does suck if you had your favorite Pokemon not appear in the games, but it's definitely not the end of the world that they didn't include all these Pokemon in. Moving on to future Pokemon games is going to be definitely different from what we've seen in the past. Those Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Pokemon Black and White, those era type of games is definitely over. If you enjoyed my thoughts about the future Pokemon games, the mainstream ones that is, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.
sweeter, 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 sweeter.